Welcome. In front of me is a Nothing Phone 3A Lite and today I'll show you how you can go through the setup process of this device. So, to get started, when you boot up your device for the first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see on my end. Now here we just have a language selection at the bottom, and also that includes region. Yeah, the one that is selected right now is English UK. I, for the love of God, would never want to be considered as a citizen of UK. All the faggot politicians will get on my ass when I just call them faggots and try to lock me up because their feelings were hurt is not my cup of tea. I'm all for bullying. That builds character, not these losers. Anyway, so I'm going to be selecting Poland. Well, I guess I can't select Poland because that will also include Polish. Well, let's see. What options do we have? When I select English, we have... Oh wait, I can still select Polish. Or Poland. Let's... Huh? Oh, you little... Oh, you bastard. Apparently I can't select Poland because, yeah, it ain't here. I can select Philippines and some other things, but hey, Poland apparently ain't part of the world. Guess nothing still thinks we're still not on the map. Okay, great. I'm just going to select something else. Now, for me, the region doesn't really matter, but I do want to point out that selecting a region might have some kind of impact right here. So, just to give you kind of like a backstory, though I do want to point out this could basically be a nothing burger, so I might be just wasting your time, but in any case, maybe you will just learn something interesting as well. So, when it comes down to kind of like a idea here, there are, for instance, I'm going to start off with Apple and their iOS system, which is pretty locked down. Now, European Union is very friendly to just consumers, not to corporations so much. So they are trying to, for instance, force Apple to open up their iOS for alternative stores. That would be good for consumers. I mean, competition obviously brings better prices. So Apple isn't too happy about that, as you can probably imagine, because Tim Cook wants his Apple tax, and he ain't going to be getting that when people can install different stores. So, for instance, Tim Sweeney can use his Epic launcher now and sell microtransactions through that instead of going through the App Store. So, in any case, that being said, Apple is basically being forced to open up the store in Europe, because that's European Union forcing them to, but if they will finally comply, I think they already have, I'm pretty sure that's not going to apply to US. I can't really check it, but you probably might be able to. If you can have third-party stores on iPhone and now in US, then I guess it's worldwide, but if you can't, yeah, something tells me that Apple then is just complying with Europe and ignoring everyone else. Therefore, selecting your region to not be US would be beneficial to you. And same kind of logic goes right here for this. Google is kind of slowly trying to pretend that they're Apple as well and doing some bullshit kind of tactics as well. And this also extends a little bit further. So going back to UK, which was selected here by default, I mean, you did it to yourself, UK. You literally try to have this language and region selected by default. Location is on. You know I'm not in UK. So the reason I'm pointing it out is because UK tried to force, I think it was Apple or Google, I don't remember which one, it doesn't really matter, to basically give them back access to the OS so they could spy on their citizens without their knowledge, permission, or any kind of reason. Because apparently nowadays you're always guilty till proven innocent. So, when they tried that, obviously the company didn't agree to it, and we know about this because they just kind of came out and said it. But just know that by law, from what I understood, I might be wrong, is that if they will give them back access to basically iOS or Android, just because UK wants to, and it's like, I don't know, probably blackmailing them in some ways, you won't know about this because they will also be forced to not disclose this. Which, hey, right now, UK might be spying on you and you don't even know. You might be guilty always in their eyes till proven innocent. And they can always check everything on your phone without your permission, like your privacy, because I do. That's why I don't recommend UK. Anyway, moving on. Story time over. Next we have connect to mobile network. You can insert a SIM card. You, I believe, also might have the option to add an eSIM, though I don't exactly remember. There's definitely two different SIM card options right here that you can utilize as a physical card. I'll be skipping this. And next we have the setup using another device. Now this will show up with a pop-up like this on your phone, old one meaning. And I can tell you, screw this crap right here, it's absolutely freaking useless. The reason why I consider this to be useless is because the way this works is by moving over your account and then downloading everything that is Google hoovered up like a creepy motherfuckers, and then just, you know, dropping it on here. Now, the reason I'm kind of being critical about this is because I just find a problem kind of mentally with the fact that, for instance, when you sync your contacts to Google, you're not syncing your contacts, you're syncing someone else's contacts. And those contacts usually consist of a lot of personal information, as an example. Date of birth, first, last names, addresses, notes, and all kinds of other crap right there. And Google basically hoovers it up under the pretenses of giving you easy access to it. And they do that with everything, even data that I believe they shouldn't be able to get because other people never consented to it. You as a person that is, for instance, syncing contacts never should not be able to consent for other people. And additionally, obviously, they're raking all the data that you produce as well, which is kind of, you know, the only thing that they're going to be also allowing you to restore. So as a kind of comparison here, let's close this crap up. If I open up something like right here, you can see I have something like CloudStream. Screw you, Netflix. This application is downloaded from GitHub, and this app doesn't exist on Play Store. And even if it did, I didn't download it from Play Store. It's from GitHub. So in this case, when the phone is basically transferring over the data that it is, which is primarily cloud stored data, it wouldn't be transferring over this application. And even though you can transfer applications, you're not really transferring applications from, for instance, old phone to this one. What you're actually doing is letting Google check what applications you have installed right here through only Play Store, and then it's going to open up Play Store on here. I mean, not physically open it up, but basically go to Play Store and tell this phone to download all these applications that were downloaded right here through Play Store on this phone, skipping every other application that isn't or wasn't on Play Store. Now, for the most part, most phones have a better alternative than this garbage, so it's kind of useless. I don't know if there is one right here. I will try to see at the end of the video, and if there is, I will let you know. But there are other also applications you can just straight up download that will allow you to basically move the data through a hotspot, and that is actually moving it, which would be much better for you because it includes things like app data, messages, contacts, all the applications, including ones that are outside of Play Store and so on. So ignore this crap, it's absolutely useless, and we can now move over to the connect to Wi-Fi. Now we do have the option to set it up offline, which is what I will be doing just because. And because I'm now not connected to any kind of network, because I didn't insert a SIM card, nor connect to Wi-Fi, I have the date and time show up right here because it's not able to connect to network to check what the time and date actually is based on network. So I can fix it up, or I can just completely ignore it. Next we have set a pin. This is completely optional, and by default it ups to a 4 to 6 digit pin, but you can click right here on the screen like options and choose pattern or password as well. I'll be selecting pattern. There we go. So once I click on confirm, that's going to set it up and give me options for notifications on the lock screen. I'm just going to keep it as it is, and prompt me then to add a fingerprint. I want to point out there is, I believe, also face recognition, right? Nope, never mind, there is no face recognition. So we only have fingerprint. So if you want to add a fingerprint, you can do this after you add a screen lock. The reason for that is, as a biometric, which fingerprint is, and also if you can add face recognition, that is also biometric. Both of these kind of options, finger and face recognition, are not 100% reliable. So in the times where your phone fails to unlock because your finger or your face is a tiniest little blemish, a speck of dust, and it has a sissy fit to recognize you, you can always unlock it using PIN pattern or password without a problem. So that's why you will always need to have that. Anyway, for fingerprint and face recognition, if you don't want to use it, you can obviously just keep the screen lock and you can skip this. And next we have Google services, and we have services like location, scanning, sending user and diagnostic data, and a new addition, install updates and apps. Now I want to point out, as an option for me to turn off, it's kind of freaking annoying that I can't turn this shit off. Like, why? Anyway, I will be sticking here for a moment because there's a lot of shit to be said right here, and a lot of annoying crap, and that will be kind of associated with it. So, as we kind of move forward and people are becoming more and more aware how absolutely creepy and like just spyware everything is nowadays, where it all needs to gather your effing data and then monetize the shit out of it so it can sell you subscriptions, people are becoming more and more absolutely fed up with this shit. And one of this shit would be, for instance, location, scanning, and sending user and diagnostic data. Now, I do want to kind of give this thing just a complete hosing right here, because this is just absolute bullshit what is right here. So, let's just assume I turn off all of this garbage, like I just did. Guess how much this has effect on all what I just mentioned? About this much. So, for instance, location. Now, this isn't going to be using Wi-Fi or GPS location. Well, big effing whoop. There is much more other ways that it can achieve my location. Through, for instance, mobile network, through just connection to my cell provider, through Bluetooth, connecting to other devices, and probably a lot of other ways that I don't even know about. So, wow, whoop-de-doo, you won't be spying on me through Wi-Fi and GPS, thanks. I think this is kind of lying by omission. That's the term. So, in this case, you're not turning off the location right here because you absolutely fucking shitting me right here, what you're doing. You're just telling me, yeah, we're just not going to be using these two, but the rest, yeah, you know what? That's Wild West right there. We're going to be using those, but you just don't know about it. Next, we have scanning. So, scan for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Cool, yeah. Yeah, that means absolutely F all. Next, we have send user and diagnostic data. Now, here is the kind of annoying thing. So, you have the toggle to turn off sending user and diagnostic data, yet if this is turned off and every application wants you to share your data and you select allow, but throughout the setup you selected to not do this, why the hell is everything still gathering your data? And even if this would actually work, which it doesn't, let's be completely like real right here. If this did work, imagine scenarios which we probably already heard, where some nefarious actor takes a phone with him, takes out a SIM card, turns it on into airplane mode, turns off NFC, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular, and every other freaking thing that it possibly can. Shit, he can even turn off the phone. And, oh, the police found him because the phone connected to a cell tower. Surprised Pikachu face. How the hell did that happen when the phone literally has everything turned off? It shouldn't. That's basically the thing. So just know this actually does not matter whatsoever. So we're gonna kind of move on almost to the next thing, but I also want to point out this. Install updates and apps. There is no option to turn this garbage off. There is a way to kind of prevent it from happening. So in the system services that are running on almost every Android, I believe, you will find something like OTA Android updates over the air. And you can technically delete this service, assuming you have an app that will allow you to do this. And it's an app that you need to download. So I'm not really going to go into this, but you can get rid of it. And this would prevent your phone from ever basically, without your permission, updating. If you ever notice that, for instance, some application changes the way it looks like or does anything like that, basically OTA updates are the ones to be blamed for this. It's ones that just get pushed to your phone without your knowledge, permission, and turning off auto updates does not do anything for that. It's something that is completely separated from the system updates and yet never mentioned, and you don't have control over that. So you could technically delete the OTA Android update process, and this would stop this from happening. But that being said, I do want to warn you, this also prevents your phone from basically getting security patches. So if there's some vulnerability on Android, some nefarious actors could basically abuse this. So just know about this. But to be honest, at this point, I am more sketched out about Google basically doing whatever they want to my device rather than some dude basically getting my, I don't know, photo album. You know what, dude, you put on this much work to basically hack my phone to get these photos. If have it. But Google, you can go screw yourself. So I think I prefer that. And obviously this will also prevent Google from forcing some bullshit updates like they're about to do with the third-party applications. Now, they kind of went back on it, only saying that now you will be able to still install third-party applications, but it's just going to be like super hard to do, and not everyone will know how to do this or whatever like garbage they're spewing. So great, they're still enshittifying the process just because it kind of coincides with, you know, them making money. So for instance, deleting this garbage service would prevent that from ever being pushed into your device without your permission. Terms and conditions. Let's be honest, no one reads those. Moving on, we have experience improvement programs. Now, anything that sounds like it's gathering data, I just generally hate, but we have some things that are associated with nothing here. So, like glimpse, whatever that is, nothing of it. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Nothing notifications. There we go. That's what I meant to say the first time. System stability programs. You know, you can just read what these are. If you want them, you can keep them on. If you don't, you can turn literally everything off. Or just tap on the text and that will take you somewhere else. There we go. And this, bring us to the Glyph, which isn't much of a glyph, it's just a single dot. This one right here. Cool. Meet the Glyph interface. It's not really much of an interface now, is it? Okay, we have essential key, which is the garbage key that no one asked for. Cool. It's one that is located like right here, I believe, right? Yep, that's the one. For some reason it's below the power button, which makes it absolutely freaking annoying because most phones have a power button and then volume rockers on the same side. So having essential key and then power button on like this orientation is just absolutely messing with people. And the feature right here is just mid as hell, if to say the least. So cool, I can use the essential key to capture a screenshot and voice memos. Wow, that's great. Wow, such a groundbreaking feature right here. How about just letting me reassign this freaking button to do whatever the hell I want? Options. Wasn't that the point of Android? Anyway, the higher the number on the calendar, the less features you actually have with garbage like this. So anyway, here we have what's new in OS 3.0. Personalize your lock screen with clock face and widgets. Wow, groundbreaking stuff. We have rearrange your quick settings and share your favorite widgets with your best friend. Okay. And more. So not much to agree right here. Let's click on next. choose your visual style. I'm going to select the default Android just because it's a little bit lighter, but this is completely up to your preference. And finish setup. Now, one more thing that I wanted to show, like I mentioned, was if there is a application that you can use to move over data from one phone to another. And start this. Nope, I'm pretty sure that's not it. Yep. So it looks like nothing doesn't have an app that would be used to transfer over data, unfortunately. So what I recommend doing if you do want to move data from your old phone to this one is to basically use a cable, transfer over to something like a computer, and then to this device. Now this won't really let you transfer over easily things like, for instance, messages, but you could also experience with some applications that will be in Play Store. Download them on both devices, connect them, and this could also achieve this, maybe easier. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.